Hi, thank you for clicking on another one of these videos. I will be fast. If you're new here, my name is Trip Starlick, and I am doing a read my TBR, my physical TBR with a twist challenge, where I have about 25 books in a book box that are books that I own and that I haven't read yet, and about 25 books that were sluggling or people in my community submitted, and I have been reading those as well. And actually I've mostly pulled books that are sluggling submitted. So I got through about half of the books that are in the book box this year. I will continue this quest, this journey into 2026. This is probably my last video regarding a book box book directly for the remainder of the year. I have more videos planned, but that's probably the only one that will be directly about what I'm going to talk about today. So enjoy I have 3 reviews actually of 3 books that I read, or maybe I didn't read them all. And then I pulled 2 books for January when I eventually come back and review them. One of them's a doozy. Anyway, enjoy! I have 2 books to talk about, and then I will be drawing 2 books. So the first book I have to talk about is The Principle of Moments by Esmie Jikiemi-Pearson. And I pulled this a while ago. It took me a long time to read, and I'll explain why. I bought this book myself. This is an Illumicrate exclusive edition of this book. It's a very pretty book. The sprayed edges are nice. I don't actually really like sprayed edges, to be honest with you, in the end, because I think, like, what is the point? It just feels like they're using ink for no reason, because in my mind, I'm never going to face a book this way on my bookshelf. It's only going to be pasted this way, so they should make this fancier. But they don't. It just is what it is. But it is a really nice book, and it's signed, so I'm happy to have that. And like, this part is pretty. There's a quote on the cover, which is neat, I guess. But so, okay, what is this book about? The Principle of Moments by Esmie Jikiemi-Pearson. I will do my best to explain this plot succinctly. I tried to explain this plot to my friend succinctly, and I ended up ranting for 10 minutes. So I think what I have written will help me. So this is a book with 2 point of views, mainly 2 point of views. We follow Asha, who lives in the year 6666 in a galaxy far, far away, as an indentured laborer working to pay off the debts humans unknowingly incurred when they settled on this desert planet humans now live on. We also follow Obi, a time traveler that has attempted to settle down with his potential princely love interest in the year 1812 as he is on Earth. As he has a temporal sickness that results in him getting injured every time he travels through time. And he was trying to find a cure. He couldn't find a cure, and now he's gonna settle down with his boyfriend, maybe boyfriend. Obi's path inevitably entangles with Ash's, and the two now must go on a journey to help a girl in a hologram asking for help steal spaceships and deal with this whole prophecy thing that they seem to be heavily afflicted with. I could give you more information, but that's the best that I could muster up without getting into spoiler territory immediately. So, from the description, you probably understand, if you like Star Wars, you might like this book. It's a lot like Star Wars. It's certain plot points, anyhow, and certain things that happen. I am not a huge fan of Star Wars, though, to be honest, so I probably should have stopped reading this book, but I just kept thinking that the dual stories that were being told in this book would satisfyingly converge at some point, and they didn't do that. Not really for me. I assume this is a trilogy. I kind of assume this will happen in the trilogy, but I don't know when it will happen, and I don't think I'll read on in the series. Some chunks of this book was literally just pages of information I had already read about a few chapters earlier. So, instead of rehashing and re-talking about the prophecy and its history in every possible way, I would have really enjoyed a few more scenes to drill in Ash's relationships with the other characters. Obi is quite a believable character, but Asha is so closed off, even with the reader, that I found her to be pretty difficult to connect with and care about, except for the fact that I was told to care about her. But, she just didn't give me a ton to go on. I don't know. There were so many times in this book where I was like, oh, now it's getting good! And then the chapter would end, and we'd switch point of view, and the story would lose all of its momentum. Also, this is a 500-page book, and it uses the same plot device to move the story forward 3 times. Why did the editor let that happen? It was a really clunky read. The premise was really promising, so I stuck with the book, but it was ultimately disappointing. Again, I think that if you are a fan of Star Wars, you will get more out of this book. If you like Doctor Who, you'll probably get more out of the book. I like Doctor Who, but I don't know. It's not very Doctor Who like. It's much more Star Wars like, in my opinion. So honestly, your mileage may vary. I thought that this author has really great ideas. So I think I'll pick up like the next series that they're writing, but not this one. And I won't be continuing on with this one, sadly. Goodbye, The Principle of Moments. So after that, as I had shown, I had pulled a book, well, it was a manga series that my sister had suggested I read called Leviathan by Shiro Kuroi. And I didn't read this. Not really anyway. I read the first chapter and I realized I didn't really want to read a battle royale right now, or maybe anywhere in the near future. And also the art style was just not really for me. It was like really detailed in a way that I just didn't really like personally. I think it will be very appealing to a lot of readers. I just personally didn't like it. But ultimately, the deciding factor that like put the nail in the coffin for me reading this was that my sister recommended it. And I realized I had already read a book that my sister submitted for this book TBR thing, and I should get on. I should like try to get somebody else's suggestion instead. For my sister, I read Midnight Strikes by Zeba Shanaz, and I like that book just fine, and you can go watch that review in a different video, but I'll link it, I guess. It didn't really work for me, so I pulled a different book. I just need something to read. I'd really like to, like, I don't know, keep reading as much as I can throughout December, and so, I mean, it's not December yet, but as of recording this anyway, and so, let's keep it moving. I'm gonna shut my eyes. Did I just move the whole camera? I might have moved the camera, sorry if I did. No, I don't think I did. Anyway, shut my eyes again. One of these. This one. Oh, is this one a paper? No, it's a book. It's a book. Oh, I've actually been really looking forward to seeing this book in here. Outside Us by Eliot Schrefer. I have really been anticipating this book to read for this challenge. Sophia Ignosi recommended this book for me, and I don't know. As soon as I saw the book and I read the premise of it, and I don't remember what it was now, I was very interested in it, so I'm very happy to get that. I know it was a nominee for the Stonewall Book Award for children's and young adult literature. I think that's what it was nominated for. So that's actually pretty exciting. That makes me, I don't know, just more excited to read it. Actually, every book that I've read that's been nominated for a Stonewall Book Award has been fantastic. So here's hoping.
2,000 years later.
The Darkness Outside Us by Eliot Schrefer. And this one was submitted by Sophia Ignosi, who she is also a VTuber, and she talks about books. She reads books, I think, on her stream sometimes too. So I was very excited to get a suggestion from her, because it was like, oh, somebody who reads, hooray. I mean, honestly, everyone that suggested anything I was happy about, but I was hoping to get a suggestion from a fellow VTuber who actively reads books and like that's their thing too. So that made me happy. So I read The Darkness Outside Us. This is another sci-fi about children / young adults in space. I actually think it's funny looking back that I pulled like 3 sci-fi books in a row, which is a great way to get me out of a reading slump. I really like sci-fi. I think ultimately that's my favorite genre. But the middle one, the Battle Royale in space, didn't really suit my interest at the time. But anyway, it's like it takes place far in the future. So there are 2 boys from the 2 countries that now remain on Earth. There's like 2 countries that are like massive blocks of like land on Earth, and these 2 boys are from those 2 countries, and they're sent into space on a mission to save the lone person that was sent to Titan, Saturn's moon, after the distress signal is tripped on the Titan like base thing. Our main character, Ambrose, wakes up on the spaceship without any memory of the launch. Things are a bit strange. The ship's operating system has his mom as the voice bank. It looks like there used to be other people on board the ship. And also, Ambrose thought he was going on a solo mission, but it turns out that there is someone else on the ship, and he doesn't want to talk to Ambrose at all. However, if the 2 passengers aboard this ship want to survive and figure out this ship's secrets, they'll need to work together and learn to take comfort in each other and maybe fall in love. It's up to you to find out. So this book really worked for me. I really liked it. I found myself constantly wanting to read more. The way this book is plotted And the way the twists are revealed is very, like, satisfying to read. I found the twist to be a bit obvious, but the implications of the twist and how the author spun the tale after the twist reveal, which happens quite early on, was really clever, and it felt fresh to me. I personally wish the story had gone more into details about the political implications that are brought up at one point of the story that are happening on Earth, but, like, that doesn't... It's not really the point of the story. It's not in the scope of the story. The story is just focused on these two characters and their relationship with each other and their survival in space. And ultimately, I found myself really enjoying that. So it was fine. I just kind of am like, what was happening on Earth, though? There were some aspects of this book that weren't my favorite overall, but overall, I had a really great time with it. It's sci-fi. It's MLM. It's paced really well. And yeah. This is the kind of book I would readily recommend to everyone. Darkness Outside Us by Eliot Schrefer. Thank you so much, Sophia, for recommending this to me. I'm so happy I read it, actually. It's right up my alley. It's like exactly the kind of book that I would want to read. But it kind of fell off of my radar. Like, I knew about this book, but I barely knew about it, so it completely fell off my radar. So I was happy to add this to my book collection. And here's it with its tiny little baby. The tiny baby has an award symbol on it. It was nominated for a Stonewall Fiction Award, which is cool. Okay, that's it. Woo! Now last, you can hear it. It's here. I have to draw some books. So I was actually doing some math, and I've read most of the books that other people submitted for me to read. It's book pull time! Hi, Moonlight! You're here right in time! Yay! Yay! Yeah, I've actually read the majority, like, of the books I've read. So I have, like, half of this like, book bowl TBR thing left. But more than half of the ones I've read are users submitted. Like, Sluglink submitted. And not something that I already owned on my shelf that I wanted to read. I don't know what that means, actually. Who knows what I'm gonna get. Alright, let's draw. I'm gonna lift this up. I'm gonna shut my eyes. Ugh, I feel like I can't, like, grab it. I'm gonna hold it like that. My microphone is, like, in the way. Hold on. There we go. I can't see it if I do it like that, though. Okay. Shutting my eyes. I'm gonna grab this one first. I'm grabbing two, but this is the first one. This is, Sapling Cage by Margaret Killjoy. Braca Quiltusk suggested this book. Sapling Cage by Margaret Killjoy. This is a tale about Earth magic, power struggle, and self-invention in an own voices story of trans witchcraft. Ooh. Trans femme Tamara Pierce. Oh my god, I totally need to read this book. I love Tamara Pierce. Okay, I'm excited now. All right. I think was this indie published? Oh no, it's small press published. Okay, that's neat, actually. Well, I'll give you the review soon. I'm excited to read this, actually. Shutting my eyes. Ooh, this one. It's a book. Okay. I have a couple paper prompts. What did I get? Oh, man. This is a long one. So this is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I actually own this book. I have to go pull it out of my, like, closet somewhere. I almost donated this book last year because I just didn't think I was ever going to read it. But then Professor Lynx suggested I read it. So it made it into the book bowl. So I'm going to read The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. The only reason I didn't want to read Name of the Wind was because I just thought that it's a really long book. And also it's a trilogy that may never get finished. And so that makes me really like, I don't want to read a book. What if I like it and then I'm mad that it never gets finished? Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It is a told story about a magically young gifted man who grows up to be the most notorious wizard the world has ever seen. So yeah, then I will read that. So I'm sorry, Professor Lynx. I'm just an aw man because I'm worried that I'll like the book and I'll never get to know how the story ends. Thank thank you so very much for watching this video. It means a lot to me that people are still here and just wanting to, I don't know, that are just willing to watch these videos. It means a lot to me. Yeah, again, like I said earlier, the project will continue into 2026. I think The Name of the Wind is going to take me a little bit of time to get through. If I get through it, I'll probably get through it. I should read the book, you know, just to say I've read it, right? And so I'll see you in 2026. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your year.